I felt bad, I did it. Hello, I'm Ranjan Kumar, founder Mysticfusion International and authentic self-leadership coach. How often have you taken this guilt trip within? How often have you felt that the kind of activities that you are indulging in or you have indulged in the past have given you this feeling of heaviness, this feeling of guilt, and you felt that I shouldn't have done or I shouldn't have indulged in these activities? There are a number of times in life when you are so bored, you want to get into action, you want to do something which gives you a reason to celebrate, a reason to think about something, a reason to talk about something, a reason to worry about something, and you indulge in those actions or those activities which give you a sense of delusion of happiness, and you start celebrating for a while. But after this initial euphoria and initial excitement and initial frenzy comes down, you are back to square one, and you feel that dip in your energy levels, and you feel that dip in your focus and concentration, and you feel that dip in your happiness also, and you feel that I shouldn't have indulged so much in these kinds of activities. And at that point, you decide to do something else, and you decide to take a positive path, and you tell yourself that if I start doing something good about myself, if I start building habits which will establish a good character for me, and which will keep me on the positive side of life, and then you decide to wake up early in the morning, you decide to take a walk in the morning, you decide to read a few pages, you decide to write a few words every day, you decide to do something good about yourself and your life, and you start building your habits around them, you start building your systems around them, and you start feeling emotionally satisfied that you are doing something good about yourself, and you feel that as long as I am doing these activities, I am solid. As long as I am doing these activities, I need not feel guilty about anything wrong that I might get into, or as long as I am doing these activities, I am safe, for the sense of my happiness and well-being, and also can escape this guilt trap. And this happens with most of us, and especially during these tough times. There was a lot of times when we were by ourselves, and we felt so bored of not being in the normal conditions of life, and we felt we should have been doing something, but then because of the constraints that we had, we were left with only a few options, and some of the options were binge watching television, reading newspapers, and binge watching YouTube videos, and there are so many of them you have for yourself, and you felt that inadvertently you somehow most of the times you might have set your reminders, but in spite of the reminders, you might have spent around 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day only indulging in these activities because of your boredom. And on the other side, in the last few months, you might have decided that I should feel more energized, I should get myself into shape, and I should do something about my diet, I should do something about my thoughts, I should do something about my knowledge, and you started building systems and habits around those positivity. But then there might have been times when you could not do that positive activity for a day or for 2 days because of a little depression that could have set in, and you might have skipped a day or two from your morning walks, or you might have skipped a day or two from your writing routines or from your reading routines, and all of a sudden you found that you started feeling guilty about not having done those activities which were giving you a sense of happiness. And did you notice something? Be it those negative activities where you are indulging in for pastime, or be it those positive activities which you are doing to feel good about yourself, the guilt trap remains the same. And there are times when you're so addicted to those positive activities as well, and you feel that unless I take this morning walk, I'll not be happy. Unless I do something positive, I won't be happy. Unless I write a few words, I won't be happy. Unless I read a few words, I won't be happy. Unless I watch 1 or 2 motivational videos or inspirational clips, I won't be happy. And probably the day you don't get to do them, you feel guilty about not having done them. And then what has changed? Nothing has changed as long as you understand that there is a missing link. And here's the missing link. The missing link is your understanding. Your understanding that as long as you feel that my sense of well-being comes from those actions or those activities that I'm indulging in, or those actions that I'm taking to remain positive, probably you will still remain in the guilt trap. And as long as you don't realize that you are intact from inside, your sense of well-being is intact from inside, and your sense of well-being doesn't come from outside. It's something that's always been there, if not for your contaminated thoughts with you, which might have made you feel that your sense of well-being has been lost. And that's probably when we start identifying ourselves with something that is outside, and we feel that unless I do this thing, I won't get my happiness. That doesn't mean that I encourage you to indulge in negative activities. I only mean to say that there is a different perspective that you can put to it, and there is a different way you can perceive this whole game of finding your sense of well-being. And you need to understand that you're so beautiful from inside that you just need to realize how beautiful you are. You just need to understand how good you are naturally, and you don't have to do something good in order to feel good, because you are made of everything that this universe is made up of. And hence you cannot not be good to yourself in any other way, unless you believe that your sense of well-being has been taken away from you. And of course you need to do something good about yourself. Of course you need to build positive habits. Of course you need to build systems around them to keep you motivated, inspired, and to get you into that momentum of creativity. But that doesn't mean that you install your sense of well-being into something that you're doing outside, because your sense of well-being comes from who you are actually, and who you are is that substance that the universe is made up of. And this is exactly what you need to understand. You are made of the same thing that this universe is made of, and we have been made to believe in our own made up realities. And these made up realities are what we borrow from our television, our newspapers, our media, our friends, our circles, and we accept this fact that, I'm not good unless I do something good, or I am bad because I indulge in something bad, which is only a social label of an activity. And probably if you look beyond these labels, then I'm sure you will see your real worth, and you will not be addicted to this guilt trap, be it a negative activity or a positive activity. And the next time you tell yourself, or you hear yourself saying, "Oh, I shouldn't have done this," or I feel bad I did it, probably you will remind yourself that you are not that activity. You are not the result of that activity. Rather, you are someone who indulge, you are someone who involve, you are someone who take the action of doing something. That means you are not action, or you are not the result of action. You are the one who creates both of these things. And hence, there is a lot of scope for you to come out of this guilt trap, enjoy your originality, and be authentic, and be more of who you truly are. That's what authentic self-leadership is all about. I hope you will enjoy being yourself and loving yourself and being the most natural you, who you actually are. Love you.